Dennis.
Okay,
The floor is yours.
thank you. Welcome, everyone. This is our monthly membership chair call. If you can just advance that slide, Suzanne. Here's our agenda for today. We're going to where we are with COVID-19, what's going on, how COVID-19 is affecting membership, and how we're planning to re-energize the field with membership in a post-COVID-19 environment. We're going to do some refreshers. We're going to show you where to find information. We know there's a new website out there. We know you're familiar with it, and it's like a roadmap. You're going to have to, dive into it one day, spend 15, 20 minutes reviewing it, and we'll walk you through that. We're going to go over our new acquisitions. We're going to go onboarding and orientation, retention, and we'll end with lead processing. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Larry for a more formal welcome.
Oh, I can't be more formal than you. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here. I'll give you a little touch about where we are with COVID-19, but the one thing I will tell you is COVID-19 has proven one thing about the NAFA Nation. There is not a better trade association or organization in the industry, and we have proven it with our great NAFA team and volunteers. The last 6 weeks, what we have produced is amazing. And what I'll draw your attention to first and foremost are our NAFA town halls that started, I think, 5 weeks ago when we did one a day for the first couple weeks. Now we're doing two every week. If you were on this afternoon, you saw an incredible one with Wade Fowl. That was just amazing, talking about retirement planning. This coming Monday, we have an industry legend, Joe Jordan, who's going to be talking to us about how to present and talk and motivate us for this period of time. So some great opportunities. I draw everybody's attention that these are open to everyone, not just NAFA members. It's also a great recruiting opportunity. And for more information, or if you missed any of them, you can go on to the website belong.nafa.org/town halls, download the archived town halls, use them for your local and states. These are amazing town hall events. We have had upwards of 2,000 people in some of these events. So it's incredibly successful. Financialsecurity.org with COVID-19 materials. That's our consumer-based website. That is a great piece for all our advisors to use to get the information. To tell you that links in perfectly with what we're doing with our legislators and carriers. Congress members are sending their constituents to our financialsecurity.org because of all the information with COVID-19 we have out there, including how to stay away from scams. It is becoming a really important landing page, and it's also great for our organization for people to find a member. I don't have to tell this group serve now to show the value, but this is the best time ever to be a volunteer for NAFA because of the value proposition of what we're doing, what we are delivering, and we're helping not only the advisor navigate through these waters, but our consumer clients. So it's showing our true colors. As you all know, because of the virus, congressional conference had to be canceled because the hotel shut down and Capitol Hill shut down. So we've taken that advantage. We've set up what we call NAFA Nation's Impact Week, which is going to be a dynamic week of programming. May 19th, we're going to have a diversity symposium. May 20th, we're having our Advocacy and Action Day. And from what I understand, a couple of Congress members will be joining on this. And then we'll have our Leadership Day on May 21st. And we're looking to have a very special guest. If we can confirm that, will be dynamic. So we've got a lot of wonderful things going on. I want to thank all of you for rolling up your sleeves and doing what you're doing on the membership team. And I'm proud to turn it back over to the best membership chair NAFA's had in years, and Dennis. Dennis, take it away, and thanks for being here, everyone.
Thank you. Next slide. And jump to the next one. Okay, so let's go through a refresher on the membership team. I'm heading up the acquisition, the new. Steve Saladino, who came on about 6-8 months ago, is doing a great job on retention. April Lynn Geiser is heading up the onboarding and orientation. Suzanne, as you know, is the marketing whiz and the communications. Corey Matthews is taking over from Michelle Grassley Clark. He's going to head up the member and chapter services. And we're adding some additional members to the team. One on the corporate side, who will help us with corporate acquisitions. One to help us with the independent agents. Those have unique issues amongst themselves, and we want someone there to help us there. And then we're working with the rural states, the Montanas, the Idahos, the Alaskas. We're bringing on someone to help us with that area because they have unique problems amongst themselves. They can't focus on the agency presentations a California can. So we're going to have someone there to really work and help those states increase membership, do a better job with retention and the onboarding. Next slide, please. So, as you know, we have a new NAFA website. It's being updated almost weekly right now. And now we have a membership chair page for ourselves. Drop down resources, click on membership, and there's what you'll see. It will lead you to all the material that we're posting up. The cheat sheets that you're going to see, the sell sheets, everything related to membership and helping you recruit and retain members will be there. Very simple to find. And this is something that we heard the field ask for, that they wanted something membership related only and some easy links. Now, some of these links will bring you back to some of the previous pages, but we're making it much easier for you to find. Next slide, please. So let's go through acquisition. So what we're doing through COVID-19, we're asking people to learn the agency presentation. Back that up, please. In preparation for the in-person meetings. Now, there's been some talk about doing virtual agency presentations, and it sounds like a good plan, but I've done them in the past and gotten very little results out of them. So what we're asking people to do is keep on inviting people to the town hall meetings. Get a list of managers. Get them invited to the town hall meetings. Get them set up so that when we come out of COVID-19, the ask for the agency presentation is much easier, and managers will be inviting you to make those presentations. So learn that presentation now. We're in the process of adding a couple of slides, for post-COVID-19, outlining what NAFA has done, not just on a national level, but on a state level. Remember, NAFA is the only association operating in our space that operates on a state level. Virtual versus in-person meetings. I just touched on that briefly. I think we're much better off with the in-person meetings, asking people to join, unless you have someone you want to reach out to now who you think would be a good prospect to join our association. And although our membership numbers are down from January and February, they're still up versus last year and the year before. I ran some numbers this morning, and we're going to end this month about 30% higher than we were this time last year. People are still joining NAFA during COVID-19. That's amazing. People are seeing the value. Every time we do a town hall meeting, following the town hall meeting, I see 3, 4, 5 people join. After the major events that we're doing with 1,500 and 2,000 people joining, the day after, 15, 20 people are jumping on board with NAFA. It's usually spread out over a 3-day period, but I'm watching these numbers grow. We are providing the value. And we're asking you all to make people aware of the value that NAFA's providing. Jump to the next slide, please. So let's spend a few minutes on the due structure, the fee structure. We've gotten some feedback that some people are still confused about it. So it's really very simple. To join NAFA, it's look at the top left-hand corner there, belong.nafa.org/fees. You're new to the industry. First year is $10 per month. If you're in the second year in the business, it's $20 per month. You're new to NAFA, it's $30 a month. And if you're experienced, And returning under other than the win back program, it's either $40 or $56 a month. Each year, and this is important, each year you grade up. So you start in your first year at 10. Upon your 13th month, you'll be moving to $20 a month. If anybody has questions on that, you can pop them into the chat box. We'll do our best to respond immediately. Move on to the next slide, please. So we also got some feedback that people were confused about the corporate membership fees. Going back over a year, we did have some corporate partners come on board, endorse NAFA, and those membership fees were generally $50 a month versus $56 a month. We've moved on from that and we're using the graduated fees. I believe most of the corporate partner pages have been shut down and it links over to the graduated fees. The other thing we wanted to bring up to you is ledger deduction. We love ledger deduction at NAFA. It has our best retention rate. Right now, we have one program that's the one program that leads, which is the New York Life program. But we need to remember that if a member joins on the New York Life ledger deduction program, they'll come in at $55 a month. The $1 processing fee is waived for them. They're in all likely better off joining under the previous slides rates, $10, $20, or $30 per month. The other thing we'd like to mention is we are actively seeking corporate partners. Now, when you say corporate partners, don't think the big houses, the New York Lifes, the Guardians, the Northwest Mutuals. Smaller companies are coming on board with corporate partnerships with us, where they're doing ledger deduction. And these are down as small as 10 and 15 members. These are great ways to bring on members. If you have someone of that nature, just reach out to me and I'll definitely get the Brian Steiners or the Brian Money of the world or Mark Aker that will get involved in this and help you close that deal. Move on to the next one, please. So our ambassador program. This is one of the best kept secrets at NAFA. You can feed people into the ambassador, have them join the advisor ambassador program. Think of it as a 4-week trial membership of NAFA. Once a week, they're participating in a program that helps them grow their business. Think of it as something for new advisors to get involved in. Top-notch speakers across the country are reaching out to them. We're setting this up that there's small homework assignments that they can do in planning for the next event, next week's meeting. And at the end of it, they will get a certificate. We can move on. And then they're offered membership in NAFA. We'll have people reaching out to them verbally, picking up the phone, calling them, inviting, talking to them about the real value that NAFA brings to the industry. Next slide, please. Okay, you're looking at something that's going to be, it's either today, tomorrow, maybe Monday. I don't think we'll have it. I think we'll be out before that. This is our brand new annual statement, annual report. NAFA at 130 years. I went through it last night. I know other people have gone through it and they just loved it. It gets away from, reporting dollars and cents and focuses on what we're doing nationally, what we're doing on a state basis, how we're rolling the national programs and the state programs for advocacy, education, and differentiation. It's an unbelievable. I was stunned when I saw it. I saw the comments that were flying around when it hit our mailboxes at 1 o'clock in the morning, and later than the morning. It's something new, and I think it's going to be when you sign on to when you go into NAFA.org. It's going to be flashing across the screen at you, so it's an easy find. Okay, so the one-page sell sheet I think we're all familiar with it. It's been updated. We've added some terms to it that you, the membership chairs, have been asking for. You can see in one of the small boxes there, member benefits. There you go, point to that. Thank you, Suzanne. And it brings real value. I use this whenever I do an agency presentation. This is the handout I now give out. You can use it for one-on-one asks. You can email it to people and open up a conversation about it. We all look for something to sell with, and this is the perfect piece for you to sell membership benefits at NAFA. It's just a two-sided form. We don't have the second side here, but the second side talks about the 12-month process of what we do for people and how you receive every email. Every month you'll receive a new email about NAFA, introducing you to NAFA, getting you more up to speed about what NAFA can do for you in your career. You can jump to that next slide. So, our onboarding and orientation process. You heard me earlier mention that April Lynn Geiser heads that up. And now I'm going to turn it over to her. April Lynn, dazzle us.
All right. So I am in charge of how we take care of and help the new members to get involved and engaged. And we know that it's very important that we have the people that are here that have seen that there is going to be value in membership and that we engage them right away. So the things that we are talking about doing and we're going to talk about today is how we can welcome them. So on the national level, starting next week, we're going to start calling outbound to welcome verbally new members. And we have a person who is going to be in charge of that. And her name happens to be Sunshine. So perfect person to be calling out to welcome them from the national level. In addition to that, Sunshine is going to be sending to the membership chairs in each of the states the names and the contact info for the new members, so that if for some reason the membership chair or the executive doesn't go on and look to find and see new members, then you're going to get notified, and it's kind of the easy transition. So at that time, a national call will have already gone out, and that is the prompt so that somebody from the state or the chapter can send them or call them and welcome them locally, let them know what's going on at the local level, meetings, things that are happening, even virtual meetings, and get them engaged, because that's the important part. In addition, there, as you know, on the social media, Membership Mondays is still a thing, and we're going to be expanding that. So Membership Mondays will be sending out links or information on Mondays, but from the national level. But in addition, we want to have the states and chapters to send in photos that they want to use for their state's Membership Monday notifications. So if you want to send in a photo of a new member holding up a identification of the state saying Utah, welcome to Utah, or you can have your membership chair as that photo. And if you could send that to membernews@nafa.org, or you can send it straight to Suzanne Carowin, and that way we have that image to use for your state's notifications for Monday, for Membership Mondays. The other thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to have orientations. Now, we've been having orientations continuously, and this is the membership orientation page. So before I get into what those orientation times are, I want to remind you, Dennis had talked a little bit earlier about the how to get to this page. So again, it's going to be on the members page, and that's members.nafa.org. And then for the orientations, it's /orientation, or you can go on there and find it. So we're making it easy and user-friendly so that the membership page is going to be utilized. And we also want to show the member benefits page. that is there. Yes, so remember, member benefits and affinity discounts are different. Member benefits page is going to talk about what's available to them to engage with. So the town hall meetings, the events, the impact week coming up, stuff like that. So that's important. And then the affinity discount or the affinity programs, this is the page for that. So those are the discounts that are available for members of NAIFA. And this goes in and tells the specific discounts that are available. One of the things that we wanted to show you, you may not have seen the new member email. So the welcome email, it's really good. And the open rate has been very good for people that are actually opening it, reading it, engaging with it. So when a new member becomes a new member, they are going to get an email, and it looks like this. And the graphics are great, and then there's links for them to go on to find and go to the orientation to get the information that they need in order to start engaging. So the idea as you're getting it is that we're doing a couple of different touches. So they're getting a call from national, they're going to get a call from the state, and then they're going to get an email. And they're also going to have some opportunity to go on and easily find where they can engage with NAIFA and what's available to them. This is a think tank that's really wanted to revamp things so that new members feel invited, they feel special. And we also know that one of the things that we want to do is engage them or connect them with people that might be in their same industry track, people that come from the same background, people that they can feel comfortable with. And we are leaving that to the state level, the chapter level, to help them to engage with those that they will be able to have something in common with, and then from there they can be a part of what's happening at NAIFA in general, in total. So going back to the member orientation times, right now they happen on Thursdays, as you know. We are going to change those times to accommodate a broader reach of people, not only on the East Coast, but also on the West Coast. Those times will be Fridays from 12 p.m. Eastern time, and then again on Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So I'll repeat that. Fridays, 12 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Eastern, to accommodate people's schedules and the different time zones for the majority of our members. All right. In addition to that, we are available. I'm available to help everyone to engage their new members, to answer questions. Please feel free to reach out to me, and my contact information will be listed, and of course is listed on the website. So that is all that I have as far as engaging the members and new member giving the outreach. I will turn it back to you, Dennis. Oh, I'm sorry, to Steve.
Turning it over to Steve, yes.
All right.
Actually, there's one question. One person asked, how do we get the advisor ambassador program into our manager's hands to use it with new agents? You tell me what you need and we will drum that up for you lickety split, because it is as many people as we can push through this program. It's just a win-win for everyone. We have some phenomenal YATs who are really running this. They've made it their own. So but don't feel you can't invite them. If it would help to have an invitation or a PDF that you could send over to someone, that's a great idea. Happy to do that. And that's why we're all here. Get the feedback and get the materials we need. So thanks for that question. Turn back to you, Steve.
Thanks so much. Good job, April Lynn, and thank you, Dennis. So retention, really, you've already kind of heard it. It has to start with the new member and how we're recruiting or sponsoring them, holding their hand and engaging them and bringing them along. But also it has to do with the orientation and the touches that April Lynn just shared. So I want to share with you just some updates and kind of get your feedback as we go along. Before the end of the meeting today, I'll leave you my contact information. And please know I'm available should you have any questions or concerns or need our help, need my help. I'm here to help out with that. So next slide. So today we're going to talk about care calls. And you know, it couldn't be more timely in the environment that we're all on. And I don't want to assume, but I'm going to do it anyway, that the majority of us are spending a lot of hours on the phone and video calls, really reaching out to the people we care most about, whether it's our friends and family, or from a business standpoint, it's our clients. And we're making those care calls. And I truly believe that it's these times right now when we spend that time reaching out, just ultimately because we care and we want to see how our clients or our family or friends are doing, let them know we're thinking about them. It is going to make a difference. You know, it shouldn't take an environment like this for us to do that, but it's most important now. And those that aren't doing it, I think we're going to see some changes. I honestly don't think we're going to see as many advisors, and you might see some clients maybe looking for some new advisors because they felt abandoned. So we're going to start with care calls. I think we should start with our current members. And so when we're talking about retention, we normally think of lapses, and we'll definitely get to that. But our current members, I really think we need to spend time and call our clients. That's our members. So I had to ask you to think about putting together and designing a plan for that. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in a minute, but our current members need to hear from us. They're our clients. We need to let them know we care. Ask them how they're doing. How is their family doing? Find out how they're operating in this environment. And most importantly, can we help? Because we do care. Can we help them? We're all in this together. If they're not aware of the tools and resources or the town hall meetings that Larry spoke of and all the resources we have available that you've heard here today and that you know about, please make sure you introduce them to them. Help them get engaged. Let them know they're not alone and that we're here for them. So I would say that we should start with our current members, because as time goes on and we get closer to renewals, you know that people are always looking at their finances and deciding whether or not they want to renew it again. And I think the more time we spend contacting them, the better opportunity we have to get them to renew. And more importantly than that, if they're valued members and they're engaged, it's a great opportunity to ask them, you know, which of your colleagues are struggling right now that don't have somebody calling on them, or that they're not a member, that maybe they could benefit from being a member or hearing from one of us. What a great opportunity to get a referral from somebody who's a valid and engaged current member. The next thing I'm pleased to tell you is the executive board has decided to extend the win-back program. I think initially they saw the results we were receiving earlier in the year and at the beginning of all this. And then before this COVID virus hit, we were thinking about canceling it or stopping it on April 17th. Well, the board has agreed to extend that. So I would tell you, we really need to get out there and we need to make those calls. And maybe it's a different person making calls to lapsed members that lapsed previous to October 31st of 2019, then it might be somebody making current member calls. But there's something for everybody in their comfort level. This is a great opportunity to engage some of our current members in the micro-volunteerism opportunity. Just 1 hour a day, maybe 1 hour a week, maybe. Maybe they can carve it out to give back and share the good news about NAFA and talk to the members. Next slide. So we have the same materials. We've kept it the same for a reason, although it may look like, you know, the gift of love in February and Valentine's Day. It's really showing the love, showing that we care. So all the materials are still available. They're all the same. It's the same price. It's the same program. Don't hesitate to reach out. This is a really good opportunity to get those members and win them back, show them that we care, and show them that we're different than maybe when they were here before. Next slide. The link is available right here. If you want to jot that down, it's on the advisors, on the member site here. You can have all the campaign materials. There's also, when you click on this link, it takes you right to the pages you saw previously on the slide before, and it has the Renew Now button right at the very bottom. You can either assist them to renew their membership and take their information over the phone, or you can send this link to them and have them get this information and renew themselves. So I just encourage you to reach out, make the calls. If you need help, I'm going to leave my contact information. Just remember, it takes a village. So if you're a larger state, maybe like Florida, that has over 1,000 members, I don't expect to see the president or the executive or the membership chair to make those calls alone. It takes a village. Can 10 people make 100 calls? Can 50 people make those calls? Can we just spread it out and get just maybe members from across your state to help out with this? And maybe you just make a couple of calls per week. So that's really what we're talking about doing. We're going to continue to win back people during the COVID-19 town hall meetings and all the information that we have available. Make it an ongoing part of your program and your calls. You know, develop a bench. You know, think about who your players are, who those engaged member and volunteer members are that you can Ask them to step up for that micro volunteerism opportunity. Assign them a task. Communicate with them regularly. Send feedback back to us. Let us know how it's going or what you need help with, whether it's overcoming objections or getting you paperwork or information or resources. And then accountability. We have to track this. So please follow up. One of the things I like to say is inspect what you expect. Follow up, see how they're doing, let them know they're doing a good job, get information and feedback and accountability from them, and send it back to us so we know that this is working or where you need help. That's really all I've got today. I appreciate all that you do, and please know that you're not in this alone. We're here to help you. I'll turn this back over to Dennis.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, April Lynn. I think Suzanne now has some updates for you all. Suzanne?
All right, thanks, Dennis. I wanted to go through just quickly as we wrap up. We can take questions. No one has asked too many questions, but we have almost everyone who's registered on the call, which is phenomenal. I wanted to go through the lead processing and how we've kind of stopped and started this process and just give you an update where we are. So we're building an infrastructure, right? We are all of us together in real time doing something historic, which is putting in together probably could be the greatest distribution channel an association's ever put in. So we're not going to do it overnight. It's going to be bumpy. But think about this. After 128 years, you guys voted to change the structure of the organization. Then in 129, we've been putting in that infrastructure. Here we are at 130. We've developed lead generation programs, and we're going to get them better together and then be able to churn and take more, be able to really up the volume of conversion of prospects to members, right? And so I am just ecstatic to work with all of you because I've worked with some great sales teams in the past. I've worked with some phenomenal global sales teams. I've never seen anything like the sales team power of NAFA members. It's just incredible. So again, my whole job is to make you guys look good, get you out there and just get as much member to member, and in this case, digital belly to belly as possible, because you guys will just pull it home, right? So to me, that's great. So we're just now work at the point where we're working on processes. So starting back in really the end of, if you can believe this, Advisor Ambassador program has been out there since October of 2018. So we started putting in lead generating programs back then, and we started opening up different programs so that it was not just members. So for example, we started having webinars that invited members and non-members. We've put in, we have other leads that come in through our Cal Assurance program. We have NAFA Live. We have Big Ideas webinars. Our town halls are proving to be phenomenal lead generators, right? We have all of you as lead generators. And also now that we're at COVID-19 and we have bumped up our whole process of rolling out our websites, we have then been able, we're positioning ourselves now to really open the floodgates to digital advertising and getting in social media and getting more people to come to our sites, right? So that we can get them involved in our programs. We can create a lead funnel and a qualification funnel and then get them into your incredibly capable hands to take them over the finish line of membership. So if they haven't already joined by that point, we see it. Within the Advisor Ambassador program in that 4 weeks, it's not atypical that someone joins in week 2, right? So I mean, sometimes they don't even make it all the way through. They have somebody in front of them like a John D. Richardson, a Brian Haney, a Karina Hatfield, you know, a Cheryl Canzanella. And the immediate thing is, I should be part of this association. And I think what we're seeing is the faster we can all work together, of course, the faster we're going to amplify our efforts and really bring more people in together. So it's very exciting. All this groundwork that we've been doing month after month is really coming to fruition. And actually COVID-19 probably affords us an even faster way to go because we've taken out any of the geographic boundaries. We're no longer in this waiting period of we have to wait until we have our annual meeting or whatnot. So we're really in go time. And now it's about how do we band together to make sure that this distribution channel is going to work and everybody's getting leads and you're getting the people in your hands and we know what we're getting. So the first thing there is we're building this world-class sales and marketing engine of NAFA is that the first piece is it's not helpful if you don't have leads. So we have the lead generating programs underway. The town halls have really kicked that up for us. and being able to, get more people in the door and the exposure. And our big hope there is that NAFED Nation Impact Week is even a bigger influx of leads. So we're aiming to have 7,500 registrants across those days. If we can beat it, that would be great. But the more people we can drive to that event, the more leads that we'll all get in our hands for membership. So that's happening. We're looking always for lead opportunities of taking all these programs. So we've got that in place. The next piece, of course, is to put in a lead processor channel. So while it's great that we've had 2,200 people on, let's say, one town hall, 1,700 of them not being members, we have a new problem that we now have to handle, which is how do we now process this, qualify them, right, in mass to get them back out to you. So we took one town hall, which was the CARES Act. That one had the 2,100 odd people. We got them out to you as quickly as possible with pretty inaccurate guessing because we didn't have states and we didn't have phone numbers, and we were basing it on IP address and some other pieces. So those leads were not, they're real leads, but they weren't assigned as accurately as possible by state. So we've done a couple things on that lesson. Many of you wrote back, had some great constructive feedback. Thank you for that. And what we said is, okay, let's go ahead and solve some of those problems. So now we are going to do two things in particular. One, all of our registration forms are now going to carry state and phone number. That is something that the chapter presidents actually decided collectively on last week's call with Cammie Scott, that that's something that we should do just as a standard. So if we don't have as many people coming in the door because they don't want to put in state and phone number, that's okay, because we think the lead quality will be higher. So that's something that we'll start right away. And then the second thing is we'll do is, even once we have that Sunshine and team there, we'll make sure we go through, and anyone we don't have it for, we'll go ahead and do some research and do some individual lead clarification, like look up their LinkedIn profile, Google them, etc. So you don't have to do that. So we're going to give you back the best lead quality that we can. And then one other thing I should say before that, we don't just take the distribution list of who showed up to an event and hand it to you. We do at least one series of email, and collectively as a team, what we want to figure out is what's the right step there for when you want to hand it over to you. At this point, we're just going to hand it over to you after one kind of follow-up email. Okay, so we just get this thing going. So that's where we are right now. So what we have done in the last week or so is put together at home office here a lead processing kind of machine to, again, speed this up and separate out, because we have members enough to keep them all the same way. And so we're in process of doing that. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you're about to get dumped on you with a lot of leads coming your way, because we are taking the last 12 or so town halls we've done, plus big ideas. Remember, we had Tom Hegna, so that drew quite a crowd of people that registered as well. NAFA Lives, bundling all that together, and it's going to come in your way. And so that'll be delivered by Sunshine. It'll be a list, right? So just know that you're going to get a little bit inundated in the next week or so as those things come to your door. And then we want to just, again, get in that positive feedback loop to get this right. And that's where we are with that piece of it. And we're just going to see what works. And like any distribution channel, here's the product, we're putting it out there. It comes, and then we can start having conversations for how fast are we converting, what can we do that's better, and then we can start talking about where we're spending money, who should we target. Maybe we do a campaign that's for the independents. How did that work? We go after PNC. Whatever the case, this team, I'm sure together we can figure that out as one. So those were the big pieces that I wanted to really convey, and I think Dennis, we can hand it back to you.
Okay, we still got some time, so I'd like to open it up for discussion. If you'd like to chat with us and bring up some ideas or concerns, please feel free to do so. Just make sure you unmute yourself before you do so. Anyone? I'll give you a moment. Unmute yourself, chime in, talk to us.
Yes. So one question that came through the chat is from Shelley. She asked an excellent question, which is there a list of all the different websites, et cetera? And you know what, Shelley? We are putting together cheat sheets. I'm just going to call them cheat sheets, right? So like a one-pager with all the pertinent links that you need. And we're also doing that. So yes, the answer is yes, you can pass it out to leaders. because sometimes, it's nice, sometimes it's nice just to have that PDF on the desktop, your little go-to, or you can print it out. As a side note, we're also going to put together cheat sheets that come from the town halls. So wouldn't that be nice? You have a cheat sheet and you can say, okay, I want to go right to when Tom Hagden talks about his, X, Y, and Z, and it's at minute 52. So we're putting those together too, because again, we understand we're designing for stallions, right? Like we're designing for top producer people who time is of the essence, and there's just not a lot of time. You're already volunteering. So our design principle is to be able to take care of you and make it as easy as possible to do that. And we're building towards that.
There was a question from Joe Brady on the website. Was it Joe Brady? Yes, Joseph Brady. On the
Oh, sure, I can take that one. Why do we need to have multiple websites? Okay, there's a couple of different reasons, and it has all to do with metrics and spend. So the way that we have our sites set up right now, one, it increases their search engine friendliness by about a factor of 10. So it allows us to get indexed. Again, digital marketing is all about getting in front of the right prospect, right? It's all about making sure that somebody is tripping over you. I would love to think that everyone woke up every morning and Googled NAFA or came to NAFA or searched for NAFA. That's not who our target audience is. So unless we get it right in front of their face, whether they're on Facebook and they see an ad for NAFA, or they're out in LinkedIn, or they're getting an email, people have to be triggered now. The attention span of most adult humans is right around 2 seconds at this point. Okay, and now we're talking about producers, so we can take that down to what, like half a second. So we have to make it super easy to get in front of them. So we have different websites for search engine optimization capability, for making sure that we can measure it effectively, right? And then also to make sure that it is easy to market. So when I say something like advocacy.nafa.org, I'm already putting out there what this thing is. If our website is belong.nafa.org, I'm subliminally telling you what, you should be here. So it's all about setting up those pieces and using digital marketing best practices to do that. And then I guess the last thing I'd say is our past website really intermingled members only content from non-members only content. And what we're trying to do as a brand and as an organization is say that there is a difference between those people who are inside of NAFA and outside of NAFA. So the public site is designed for prospective members, the media, legislators. That's who it's for. But once you become a member and you go through that door of membership, we need to make sure that people understand you're part of a different inside society, right? This is a different type of community, and we're building that out so it's a real community. So we want to be as public facing as possible, bring as many people in the door as we can, and that's also by adding in things like media and making sure that we're out there in media and we're talking to the media. So we have the brand awareness, but then once they go through that door is making sure that they feel very special and they understand that this is NAFA, right? This is it. And we're making a distinction between the prior to being a member and then once you are a member and what that feels like. So I hope that answered that.
Suzanne, we had a question about the win-back deadline, and just the board did not give us an end date, but what they did say is that they were willing to extend it during the environment we're working under. So that was really the push for the sense of urgency, is that we've got an opportunity to continue that momentum we started before this happened. So, but no official deadline right now.
Okay. One question here is, any thoughts on recruiting State Farm and other PNC agents in the current environment?
What, Gigi?
I think that when we're providing a value add for somebody who's on the track of PNC,
Okay, well, Mom now controls all that, so it goes to
that
her.
we are going to be able to recruit and bring them on as part of our organization. But I think if they see the value add, some of the things that we also like to highlight are the legislative wins pertaining to property and casualty. And I think that that's important, not only on the federal level, but on the state level. in your state, there, I'm sure, have been some wins. So being able to know what those are and highlighting those when you're talking to prospective property and casualty agents. In addition, there are, you know, they want the same, some of the same things that other members on different tracks want, and that includes camaraderie, being able to interact with people and ask questions and talk about issues that they're dealing with in their practices. And that's what we've really focused on for property and casualty agents, and getting them engaged when they're here with others of the same track.
And April, and just to tag off that, if you don't mind, Jan, great question. I'm not sure if you are a State Farm agent or not, but we also have a lot of other State Farm members in our organization right now that we can help you tap into if you think there's an opportunity. So that, you know, a lot of people like to hear from their own people. So from a member to member, or from State Farm to State Farm, please let us know if there's an opportunity that we can help you collaborate in that level as well.
There was
Dennis, yeah, do you want to talk about the question about cancellations?
Corey just answered that online. Corey, if you have anything to add to it verbally, just jump in. I'd like to follow up for a second with Jan's question on State Farm. Jill Judd heads up our State Farm efforts. So she's our immediate past president. And State Farm is in, I believe they're in the top 5 of companies with NAIFA membership.
Yep.
P&C agents, we have been reaching out to them via the State Farms and other major carriers, and they are coming on board. One member in New Jersey heads up Allstate, and he had 3 or 4 people join in the last few months from Allstate, and we are pushing that. Where we're running into an issue, and you know, want to keep things open, is those individual shops. They're difficult to reach. Think of it this way, as I explained it to you, why we want to use the agency presentations. If I'm selling vacuum cleaners door to door, you know, I'm going to go into an apartment building with 450 apartments in it and start knocking on doors. It'd be a great use of my time. I'm going to get a lot more sales. Am I going to go to Tumblr, Iowa to make that same vacuum sale? Probably not. It'll take me, you know, 2-3 mile drive between homes. So we're focusing on where we can get the biggest bang for our buck right now, where we are. I mean, your people are out in the fields. You understand this. It's sometimes difficult to gain a new member. So we developed the agency presentation program for you to use, where in 12 minutes you can probably get 10, 15, 20. I've seen people get 25% of those in attendance to join NAIFA. Chris is asking for a cheat sheet on the websites would be great. We can work on putting something together for that. That would be probably useful, maybe something on the main page for that. So I don't see.
Yeah, I would just note one thing back on the PNC side. You'll notice, and as we'll send out after this email, after the call rather, just an email maybe with just some links to start with on the cheat sheet. But if you go to financialsecurity.org, we've updated actually the COVID-19 resource kit even further. And on the small business page, you will see that we have 2 amazing messages from Jennifer Hodges and from Karina Hatfield. And so I'm just going to take this opportunity to do a little call to action on the membership side here to say, we're really looking for members to be able to give a message out on the consumer side about COVID-19. And we started really with the PNC side, et cetera. There were so many questions were coming out on business interruption and whatnot. But just to make you really aware as of what's the value of membership of NAIFA, well, we can put you right up, you know, in front of the consumers and talk directly to them. So I absolutely invite all of you to say, sign up. I want you to beat my door down, my virtual door, about saying we want to sign up and do a message into the consumer space during COVID-19 when hopefully, again, all eyes are on NAIFA. And again, it can be on a variety of topics of which you're a specialist. But what we're basically doing is just giving financial literacy kind of information saying, this is what I'm hearing. And you know, this is why you need a financial advisor. So just something to make you aware of. And I know I saw Karina on the call. So just again, thanks to all of you who have already participated to do that. And we make it as easy as possible. We just film you on Zoom like this. We do the editing, we post it when we put it out there.
I don't see anything else, so I'm going to we'll end this a few minutes early for everybody. So during the last membership sync up, last call about a month ago, I made a statement. I said, we will get through COVID-19 as a country, as an industry, and as an association. I'm going to change that slightly. We will get through COVID-19 as a country, as an association, and we are getting through this as an association. NAFA has stepped up to the plate. I know people at NAFA that are working 16 hours a day to keep NAFA's doors open, to help us. You know, when I say doors open, you know, that's a broad statement. Consumers are coming to NAFA right now. Non-members are turning to NAFA right now for the town hall meetings and the information that we've provided. We are doing things no other association is in our space is capable of doing. I'll end it with that. I'll thank everybody for their attendance today. I'll thank my team for their hard work. It's a committee that is committed to driving membership home. Thank you all. Stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you, everybody.